Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to dive into a fascinating topic: 5 tiny habits that transform how people respond to you. In this presentation, we'll explore simple yet powerful behaviors that can make you seem effortlessly charismatic. These micro signals are subtle, often unnoticed, but they have a huge impact on how others feel and connect with you. So, let's get started and discover how to become more magnetic by focusing on the small things that truly matter. It's unbelievably small, but deeply felt. When I take that extra second to really connect, I've seen it make a huge difference. With strangers who suddenly open up because I've given them that moment of presence. With patients during my medical career whose shoulders relax the moment they feel truly seen. And with a barista whose entire energy shifts when I hold a warm gaze just a second longer. I've seen how this simple act transforms everyday interactions. It's a quiet message that says, "I'm here, I see you, you matter." And it's important to clarify, this isn't about a creepy stare or unblinking intensity. It's just a brief signal, 2 seconds, that says, "I'm present with you." So here, the key: hold eye contact 2 seconds longer than feels natural. Research shows that when people maintain around 60 to 70% eye contact, they're perceived as more likable, trustworthy, and grounded. But here's the crucial part: confident people don't use eye contact to dominate. They use it to connect. This is habit 1, the 2-second eye contact rule. It's a small habit, but it can profoundly change how others perceive you and how genuine your connections feel. Posture isn't everything, but it changes everything about how people feel around you. At a writers' conference in New York, this one simple shift led me to conversations with authors, agents, editors, and even Lee Child himself. And it wasn't because I was particularly clever or bold, but because my body language conveyed openness, groundedness, and confidence enough to connect. You're just sending the message, "I belong here." You're not puffing yourself up. You're not pretending to be superior. That's it. All you need to do is uncross your arms, drop your shoulders, angle your torso toward the person, and lift your chin slightly. Everything changed when I adopted a quick, 1-second physical reset. I used to walk into rooms with rounded shoulders, crossed arms, and a "please don't notice me" posture, and people responded accordingly. Before you speak a single word, your body introduces you. So this habit, the open posture reset, is about intentionally resetting your body language to signal confidence and approachability. You know, people often forget what you say, but they never forget how you make them feel. Your name is actually the simplest tool you have to make someone feel seen and recognized. I remember a high-pressure networking event in LA where I started using people's names more intentionally, and it transformed the whole experience. People opened up more, conversations became deeper, and opportunities just started unfolding naturally. It felt effortless, light, and genuine. Now, it's important to use someone's name at the right moments, like once when you're saying goodbye, once naturally during your conversation, or when you're greeting them. The key is to use their name 3 times during your interaction. Why 3? Because hearing your own name lights up specific areas in the brain. It's like a little dopamine hit. It makes people feel acknowledged, valued, and important. This is a tiny habit, but it can have a big impact. Remember, it's not about being weird or forced. It's about making your interactions more authentic and memorable. That's what we're aiming for here. You don't gain presence by talking more. You actually gain presence by being less rushed. When I started practicing this, I noticed that my colleagues said I seemed more composed, more confident, and more in control. Research supports this idea. People who pause are perceived as more thoughtful, intelligent, and authoritative. Think about Steve Jobs during his iconic Apple keynotes. People leaned in because he let silence carry weight. It's just a breath, one beat, a moment of groundedness that can make all the difference. So try pausing before you answer, and pause after you make a point. Growing up shy, I used to rush through sentences, fill every silence, and tumble over my words. But during medical residency, especially when facing intimidating supervisors analyzing X-rays, I learned something life-changing. This is one of the most powerful communication tools on Earth, and surprisingly, almost no one uses it. We call it Habit 4, the micro-pause. It's simple but incredibly effective. Just a brief pause can transform how you come across. Remember, it's about grounding yourself and giving your words weight. So practice that micro-pause before you respond and after you finish your thought. It's a small change that can make a huge difference in your presence and influence. Curiosity is connection. Connection is influence. Influence feels like magnetism, and almost always people return to their curiosity. When we do this, conversations naturally expand, relationships begin to form, and opportunities tend to arise from those genuine connections. Curiosity also removes pressure from you because it shifts the focus to the other person. It gives them the rare gift of feeling truly heard. Instead of asking, "Where are you from?" you might try, "What do you love most about living there?" And instead of, "How's work?" consider asking, "What's been the most exciting part of your work lately?" And then ask one deeper follow-up question. That's where real engagement happens. Research from Harvard shows that people who ask thoughtful follow-up questions are not only perceived as more likable, but also more competent and charismatic. So, most people try to be interesting, but magnetic people are genuinely interested. That's the secret weapon of truly magnetic individuals. This habit, cultivating curiosity, is what I call the curiosity spark. It's simple, but powerful. When you spark curiosity in others, you create meaningful, influential connections that can truly transform your interactions. So, which of these 5 habits will you try this week? I'd love to hear about it and cheer you on every step of the way. And remember, you can do this too. I want to share a little personal story. I transformed from being a terrified, ultra-quiet kid into someone who thrives in any room. And it wasn't about changing who I am, but about changing how I show up. These habits are simple, subtle, and often invisible to others, but their impact is unmistakable. First, spark curiosity by asking one deeper question. It's a powerful way to engage others and show genuine interest. Next, master the micropause. A brief moment of silence can create space for your words to resonate and for others to process. Use the person's name naturally. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference in building connection. Reset your posture to say, "I belong here." Stand tall, open, confident. It makes you feel more confident and signals to others that you're present. And hold eye contact just 2 seconds longer. It's a simple way to build trust and deepen engagement. So, to recap, these are 5 tiny habits that can make you truly magnetic. They're small, but when practiced consistently, they can transform how you connect and lead.